Hello and welcome. I'm Saltonstall, and I'm going to show you how to use rubber balls to relieve tension in the upper trapezius, the top of your shoulders, where we all carry a lot of tension from stress, from too much time in front of the computer, from just what we do in our daily lives. It's a common source of discomfort, pain, and restriction in the shoulders. So we're going to work from the very top of the trapezius down about to the bottom of the shoulder blades, which I'm indicating on my back. And we're going to use rubber balls that are roughly the size of a small apple. I'm going to show you 3 different sizes. Here's the white baseball, what I call the rainbow ball, and then there's a larger one that's hollow. And these are in comparison to a tennis ball. See here, I'm holding up a purple tennis ball so you can see the size comparison. So tennis balls will work fine if that's what you have at home. But at the bottom of, below the screen now, you'll see in the text a link where you can go to buy the rubber balls if you wish. And that's a place where you can also find my book, Bodymind Ballwork, which explains all the techniques in the method. Okay, so I'm going to use the white balls, and they may not show once I lie down on them, so I'm going to indicate again where the balls will be. They'll be at the top of the trapezius, and then with 2 balls, you'll go down in between the shoulder blades. You might want to have a block nearby because if you want more pressure, putting the block in under your hips will help you give that pressure. So to begin with, lie down on your back and take a few deep breaths just to feel your body. This method is going to increase your ability to perceive the sensations inside your body, many more things besides just the pain. So you'll feel the texture of the muscles, how the different parts of the shoulders relate to each other, and hopefully the connection of any tension that you find with your breath. So the method is very slow, and we keep it slow in order to be able to keep track of and notice all those sensations. If you go quickly, it's a nice massage, but it probably won't last very long, the effects. And the slowness really helps to deepen the process. So now I'm going to put the balls under my upper trapezius, 1 on each side. So it's kind of halfway between the bony parts of the outer shoulders and your neck. And there's a nice area of muscle right there for you to work on. Bring your arms in this position where the elbows are bent, hands are resting down on your forehead or on the floor behind you. The first step is just to breathe and settle yourself onto the balls and feel the pressure. And then very slowly move your arms up toward the ceiling and then back down. So it's really your upper arms and shoulder blades that are moving. Your hands can remain wherever you're resting them, on your forehead or on the floor. We're just moving the shoulder blades and the upper arms up away from the floor and back down. And do that one more time. And then bring your hands a little further back behind your head on the floor. If you're able to stretch them straight, that's great. If not, you can have them bent, and you can even put another prop there like a folded blanket if it's hard to reach the floor. And now the movement is to move your shoulders from side to side. Really slowly. You're not going very far, just an inch or 2. So the balls find more area of the trapezius to work on. And you can be noticing the 2 sides if there's a difference between your left and your right. And notice the connection that might be up into your neck or down further into the shoulder blades. Now give it a try with the block under your hips. So you just lift your hips up, put the block under there, and now it'll be easier to have your arms overhead. And you can bend your elbows and find a comfortable position for your arms. And just take some deep breaths to settle and feel this new position. With your hips raised, there's a little more pressure on the trapezius. And then very gently and slowly move to one side and back to center and over to the other side and back to center. So I want to emphasize that it's important to move slowly. Sometimes when we have a tight spot and we want to work on it, we want to just go right in and work on it more quickly to see if that'll release the tension. But in my experience over many, many years, going slowly is much more effective than going quickly with this ball work. So that's why I'm demonstrating the pace. So now I'm back in center and I'm going to go off to one side and linger there for just a second or two and then come back to center. And then go over to the other side and linger there a little bit and back to center. Now lift your arms up in the air again and do some improvising. Move your arms slowly in different directions up in the air. So whenever you change the position of your arms, it will put the weight differently into the ball. So just do a little bit of playful exploration and see if you find some good angles to get to tight spots in your shoulders. And then come back to center and we'll move the balls down an inch or two in between the shoulder blades. So you can still stay on the block or you can take it out, or if you never put it in, that's fine, you're on the floor. So now again, you bend your elbows up toward the ceiling and begin a slow movement up and down with only your upper arms and shoulder blades moving. Very slowly up and down. And then extend your arms up and make a slow, small movement to one side, back to center, to the other side, back to center. So at any time, if you want to rearrange the ball a little bit with your hands or lean to one side a little more because that side is tighter, you can explore that way. And now we'll move the balls down again. And at this point, I do recommend taking the block away, lying flat if you had it under you before. Again, bring your arms to your forehead. Your hands are on the forehead, your elbows pointing up, and then move your arms up toward the ceiling and down again, and up and down again. And then bring your hands back behind you. Again, possibly onto a support of some sort if you can't reach the floor. And then move your chest and ribs and shoulders off to one side and back to center and off to the other side and back to center. And here's another position to try, and that is crossing your arms over your chest. This pulls the shoulder blades wider apart and gives more space for the balls to work on your trapezius and also the rhomboid muscles that are under the trapezius. So you can go from one side to the other again, very slowly. And change your arm position to try different things. See what works best for you. And let's do one more spot now. So you're going down to be right around the bottom corner of your shoulder blades with the balls. You can kind of feel it. If you wriggle a little bit, you can feel that the bone is right there. next to the balls. Take a deep breath. And then do any of the movements that we've done so far. You can raise and lower your bent arms. You can extend your arms out behind your head and move side to side. That's actually my favorite. And you can cross your arms over your chest and move your ribs side to side. So if you find a very sore spot, it's not dangerous to work on it with the balls. It may feel intense for a few minutes, but chances are the balls will release the tension and it will become less painful, even over the space of a few minutes, but definitely after several times practicing this technique. And then roll to one side and remove the balls and lie flat on your back. And notice how your shoulders feel. Roll your head from side to side. Feel your breath. And take note of any sensations. Hopefully you feel some more space, some more release, and a sense of openness and readiness for the breath, readiness for your day. And then roll over to the side and come up to sitting. Thank you for joining me.